What is a function? So we say that a function is some kind of relation between two sets where we have our inputs and we have our outputs such that every input is going to have exactly one output. Now, yes, a lot of times we are going to have some equation that is going to represent a function, but we don't necessarily need an equation to represent a function. So one example of a function could be just a soda machine, or really any vending machine for that matter, but let's consider a soda machine, where we have our inputs are going to be the buttons, and while the outputs are going to be the soda that comes out. Now, it's possible to have two different inputs that give you the same output, right? I've even seen like soda machines that only have one soda. Maybe it's Coke or something, but you have lots of different buttons that'll give you that same soda. So it's okay that you have two different inputs that give you the same output, but if you hit a button and if you sometimes get a Coke, sometimes get a Mountain Dew, it's like, surprise, well then that's not going to be a function anymore. So we say that a function, you have to have every input must give you exactly one output. You can't hit an input, right? Hit a button on your soda machine and get sometimes one soda, sometimes something else. That is no longer going to be a function. But let's say you hit a button and it's broke. You don't get anything out. Well, then is it still a function? Well, yes, right, it still is a function, but that button that you pushed, if it doesn't give you a soda, if that button is broken, then it's not going to be one of the inputs. Or, I guess a better way to say that, it's not going to be one of the possible inputs or one of the allowed inputs. So that button would not be in the domain of the function. So a function is really, it's a relation between two sets where you have all of the possible inputs, which is going to be the domain, and then all of the possible outputs, such that every possible input is going to give you exactly one output. Calculator.